you like this video, hit the old thumbs up button, share, leave a comment for future videos and tutorials, and subscribe for more content. Okay, so this is the Creatures of My Mind tutorial. First thing that we need to do is we need to establish how the right hand works. Starting with your thumb, it's P, index finger I, middle finger M, and then ring finger A. So P, I, M, A. As a general rule, we want our A finger on the first string, our M finger on the second string, and our index finger on the third string for this one. Your thumb, I sort of think of your thumb as the beginning part of each section, or the beginning part of each loop or chord. So the very first chord is an E minor chord, and we're going to go. So I'm doing P, M, A. I'm also doing, to get this note, I'm doing my M finger, but you can just repeat your A finger. P, M, A, and then descend, A, M. So that's the first pattern. So I would try to just get each one of these chords down as loops. So there's your E minor chord. The A minor chord, it's a little bit of an awkward stretch. So we're going to start with playing P on the fifth string and then I on the third string together. Try to make sure that you don't flam. So a flam is when you play two notes in quick succession like that, and sometimes this is a really musical sound, and sometimes it's what you want to do, but not in this particular song. So we want to make sure that these two notes are happening perfectly simultaneously. So we have this, and then we have to reach with our third finger to the 5th fret, and then jump, string skip to the first string. So a little bit awkward. So I'm not really holding down the first finger and stretching to that. I'm kind of shifting over. So a little bit awkward trying to get from here, 2nd fret, up to the 5th fret, and then back in time for these two notes. And those two I'm playing P on the 4th string and then A on the 1st string. And again, trying not to flam. So you can take that as a loop. And then the E minor we have. So there's two different patterns that we need on this E minor chord. Which could make it confusing. That's the first pattern, and then the second one is, and then we just have loops. And that's essentially the verse. So there's some slight variations on these. So the E minor chord, now we have P and A again, that starts off the same, except now we just descend A, M, I. So again, taking that, turning it into a loop. And now this one, a little bit awkward. We're going to go P, M, A, and then we want A and M at the same time. So this separately and then trying to do those two same fingers at the same time is a little bit awkward. And what I do is I take these two fingers and I make sure that I'm sticking them close together and kind of moving them as one, almost like a bigger, fatter finger. And then you descend on the 1st and 2nd strings. Again, turning that into a loop. And then we go into a C chord. So for the C chord, now I'm slamming 3 fingers together and trying to move them as one. Now we move on to the chorus. So what we want is this pattern here, a new A minor pattern, which is P, I, A, M, I, A, M. Now, you might notice that there's another second finger set on the second fret of the fourth string. That note there to end it, I kind of think of that as the beginning of the next section. So I would think of that as the beginning of the E minor chord that follows. So I think of this as a loop in this manner. So P, I, A, M, I, A, M. So now we have an E minor chord, and it's a bit of a long section. It's going to go P, I, A, M, I, P, I, M. So that's how I would loop that section. C chord, new kind of pattern for the C chord. So this one's going to go P, skip a string to I, A, M, back down to P, A, I. P, I, A, M, P, A, M. As a loop. A new C chord pattern comes along here. It's P, I, A, M, I, and then M and A together on the first and second strings. And then back to P. So there, as a loop, this is going to be a little bit awkward in the sense that you're going to have your thumb twice in a row. So this one goes like so, as a loop. Okay, that pretty much wraps up this tutorial for Creatures of My Mind. Pretty easy, not a whole lot of finger patterns. It's just all a matter of remembering which pattern comes where, as there are different patterns for the same chords. Don't forget to give this video a like, leave a comment if you have any questions for future tutorials, or if there was anything I missed in this one. There's also links in the description box for Yousician if you haven't tried it yet, the Facebook group, as well as my Patreon page. I'll be doing another video next Wednesday, as well as streaming on Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you guys.